Hi, I'm Levy, your friendly neighborhood Chibi Leviathan, and I'll be recapping Session 7 of the Royal Explorer Society, Part 2, The Ruins of Val Shaheim. When we left off, we were in combat with these flesh and metal or mechanical abominations. So we pick back up, still in pitched combat. We managed to take them down, but the strange whispers coming from Prim are affecting our ability to concentrate, to hit, to do pretty much anything, to attack more than once. As well as the aura coming from these beasts is mixing in with it, causing potentially those effects to be enhanced. I'm not sure which of the ones came from Prim and which came from the beasts, but either way, we were severely inhibited. We did manage to take them down, and then on the last attack, Prim took out the final flesh monster, and his jaws, with their Arcstone again, went off. The magic coalesced and formed a portal, which seemed to be crystalline in nature, but with some kind of shadow arc, or arch. Of course, Dirk could not resist the big red button in the room and immediately ran into the portal. Maeve sent Prim in after him, and after some time passed, stepped up to the portal himself and thought, is Dirk my responsibility or not? How to react, what to do. So I rolled a dice, and it told me Maeve would go into the portal after Dirk, potentially leaving the rest of the crew behind and needing to roll new characters. We had no idea what would happen. Instead, Dirk, Maeve, and Prim all reappeared some distance away from the party after the portal closed, and they were granted advantage on any wisdom or intelligence checks for the next little while. But if we were to make a perception check, we were to ask the DM about it. So we did what we had planned to do and started fixing up the old train car to get it ready, and scouring the area, Maeve and the entire crew realized that from that portal event, they had somehow enhanced their abilities. We leveled up. Super fun. Prim grew in size and sprouted wings, and Maeve decided that that meant it was time to train on how to ride Prim, a new ability that the Wyvern Rider Ranger gets at level 7. As we were riding around and the rest of the crew are fixing up the train car, Stug doing his best, and Bo using his tinkering skill from his gunslinger ways to help with the smaller mechanics of it, Dirk decides to wander off down the trainway tunnel. After we had gotten back from the portal, after we had killed the slash abominations, I neglected to mention, we were spoken to by a voice overhead on an intercom by a Dr. Moreau, I believe it was, about how we had killed his little pets, but that we were here to provide so much flesh for him to play with, and he would be sending someone or something to fetch us. This is important for what's about to happen. While we were surveying the area of the train, I rolled a perception check. The DM was delighted to inform me that my high perception roll resulted in me seeing some kind of shadowy beast with many eyes staring at me, so I had pointed it out to Dirk. He couldn't see it, and by the time I went over to look for it, it was gone. I think this is part of what prompted Dirk to continue down the tunnel, searching for this would-be ambusher, this waylayer, this thing watching us. Of course, down the tunnel, it's very dark, small flickering lights, and all of a sudden, while completely separated from the party by around 400 feet, Maeve only noticing that Dirk was gone somewhere through her patrol and going off after him, so 200 feet from Dirk, 200 from the party. Dirk is set upon by a large creature, grappling him, holding him tight, and beginning to move him away from the group. Of course, Dirk does not appreciate how it has grappled him, holding him, or how it damaged him in the process, and so rages in order to try and break free from this creature. He is successful, however. In breaking free of its grasp, it causes a large amount of damage to him that he does not appreciate, and so on subsequent turns, it does manage to hit him again, which causes him to be grappled, and he then attacks it. Of course, the party heads off in that direction. Some noise happens. I believe Maeve is able to call back to the group as there is shouting down the tunnel from Dirk about his situation. Stug gets the train car working and rides it down the tunnel, exiting, leaving Aladdin inside the train car. And we try to catch up to and fight this creature holding Dirk, Maeve firing some pot shots off at it, when all of a sudden a second one appears and grabs at Maeve. Prim currently is off biting, or trying fruitlessly to bite the one holding Dirk, and I'm not able to roll high on his attack roll even once. So, Dirk is in the process rendered unconscious. Maeve has their bow go off and cause a large area of silence, affecting our spellcasters, including Maeve, being unable to cast certain spells. They are picked up by a second one of these creatures that want to transport us to this doctor. Fortunately, between the rest of the party, Bo, Mittens, Stug, and Maeve, they're able to take down the one that picks up Maeve. However, and picks up Bo in the process, actually, since he positions himself between it and its escape. It simply snatches him up on the way. The one carrying Dirk, however, gets further down a maintenance tunnel and disappears off in the distance, carrying an unconscious Dirk, very low on health itself, with Prim still conscious with around, I think, 4 hit points in its arms, struggling uselessly, unable to land even a single attack. And that is where we left off.